What is up, guys? This is Ofo, and here's another Black and White 2 battle for you with the same old teams. Yes, it's the same overused team. However, I have made two teams and experimented with them a little bit on Pokemon Showdown. However, I just haven't translated them into my DS. As soon as I get that done, you're going to have some fresh teams. But for now, this is another UU match with this pretty solid UU team I've been using recently. But looking at this team, I feel fairly safe leading with Ambipom, at least I think I do, right off the bat, because I kind of blanked, like, before the game, when I was looking at the team preview, that the Crobat didn't had that ability, which means so you can't flinch. So I was like, hey, I lead with Ambipom, it's a pretty good lead, and I can get some damage off on anything. Unfortunately, he does wisely lead with Crobat, as I lead with Ambipom, and I do remember right here that Crobat does have that ability, which means he can't flinch. So I do switch out into my Slowbro, not wanting to be taken out by an Acrobats after he easily takes a Fake Out. So my Slowbro actually does take this decently, although that is a max HP, max defense Slowbro, so really I was kind of impressed of how much that did. So right here, I should have gone for Ice Beam. Instead, though, I went for Thunder Wave. I kind of play a little poorly that turn, because I should have seen the taunt coming. But whatever, he goes for U-turn, and I take that pretty well because it's non-stab and a pretty weak move. And I then take this opportunity just to go for Scald, just you know, to hopefully burn something on his team. Unfortunately, he probably goes into the guy on his team that most wants to take a burn, which is his Umbreon, and I do get it. And the reason that it's not too bad that he got burned right there is because he has Synchronized, which means I'm going to be burned now. And while the residual damage is going to be nice on his Umbreon, it's not going to be nice on my Slowbro, so I don't know, but that burn does prove useful on that Umbreon later on, so I guess, you know, whatever. So, now we decided to switch out into Sharpedo. Kind of weirdly, as I decided to switch into my Virizion, because I didn't really want to be outstalled by that, I don't know, I guess I just didn't see any reason to stay in there with my Slowbro. So, this is actually a pretty decent matchup for me, so I go for Stone Edge, predicting a switch into his Crobat. Instead, he actually decides to stay in, go for Protect, and then go for Ice Beam. Now, once I saw him go for Protect, I knew it wasn't safe anymore to go for Stone Edge, so I just did go for that stab close combat, and am able to take him out after taking a lot of damage from Ice Beam. I don't usually see Sharpedos with Ice Beam. I don't know if that was if that's a unusual mix set, or if it's totally specially defensive or whatever, but regardless, it's an interesting Sharpedo set. So he goes into his Virizion. I don't want anyone to be dying, but I think he's going to go for U-turn, because I've been seeing a theme on this team that most of his Pokemon do have U-turn. So I figure he's going to probably want to go for that to get some momentum going, so I'll go into my Zapdos to take it, and not, if he did go for V-Create or Bolt Strike, that would have been unfortunate, but, you know, whatever. So now he goes into his Ambipom. I don't want to be taking a Fake Out with my Zapdos, so I go into my Nidoqueen. You can't take that he doesn't really take that well, but he does get that Poison Point, so that Poison damage is going to be really useful against the Ambipom. So, seeing that Fake Out damage, I'm thinking I can take one double hit, and I really do want to get my Rocks. I was kind of debating whether I want to go for Earthquake or Rocks right here, but knowing that he has Crobat and Victini, and that he does not have a Spinner, I figured that Rocks are a little bit more valuable than taking out this Ambipom. So, I am here. I actually do just stay in. I was thinking about switching out and preserving my Nidoqueen, but I decided I didn't really want anything else to take that double hit. So I decided to stay in, as he actually goes for U-turn, predicting the switch. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter, because I do go for Earthquake here, as he goes into his Crobat, and he's immune to it. So that kind of sucks. It would have been nice if I could have gotten that free hit off. If I had really played well right there, I would have gone for that Rock Slide, but I didn't, so whatever. My Nidoqueen does unfortunately die, but I mean, her main role is mainly to get those Stealth Rocks up, so it's not horrible. So I go to my Zapdos, knowing I completely wall that Crobat. I resist his Acrobatics, I resist his U-turn, and I'm not really that crippled if he goes for Taunts. I mean, I won't be able to use my Roost, but that's not too bad. And his last move is probably Roost of his own, which, I mean, that's not going to be a big deal against my Zapdos, because I can probably, 1 or 2 hit KO with Thunderbolt, probably 1 hit KO. But he goes into his Umbreon to take that Thunderbolt, and he actually doesn't take it nearly as well as I thought he might, and because after that burn damage, I am actually able to 2 hit KO that Umbreon, which is really nice, because that Umbreon is normally a really annoying wall, and so getting him out of the way is very useful. So now it goes to his Amber Palm. I do know my Zapdos is going to be really useful against that Crobat, so I want to preserve him. So I go into my Slowbro to take the Fake Out, or double hit, either one. I do take that Fake Out very well, and seeing that damage, I know I'm going to be able to take the double hit, you know, pretty well, and then do a huge chunk with Scald, and perhaps even take him out with one Scald. So he actually does decide to stay in and not go for U-turn as I thought he would. But I go for Scald regardless because I figured nothing on his team would really want to take a Scald or be burned, one of the two. So he actually does have payback on that Amber Palm set, which is interesting because I do see it's practical in the sense that it hits those ghost types that normally are immune to the stab, fake out, and double hit. But payback is one of those moves that doubles in power if it goes last, and Amber Palm is very fast, so it'll almost never get that boost. So, you know, I guess it's a trade-off. So he goes into Victini. I do not want to be, I don't want to be dying with my Slowbro because my Slowbro can definitely hurt his team. So I go in my Vizzion, actually predicting a Bolt Strike, but he actually does predict that nicely. Goes to the U-turn and manages to whittle my Vizzion down to 4 HP, and then he can just finish me off with Crobat. So I go in my Zapdos, and he actually just decides to stay in right here. He actually crits me on Acrobatics, which is fortunately I survive with 2 HP, and I'm able to get that Roost off, which is really nice. So this next turn, I should have predicted him to go for Taunt. I just kind of forgot he had it. It's kind of the second time I've done that this game. But I go for Roost again, and nothing really happens. But it really didn't matter at all in the long run, because he does miss his Super Fang next turn. And so that misprediction didn't really matter at all, and I just take him out with Thunderbolt. So, and that Super Fang miss doesn't really come into play, so it didn't really matter either way, but, you know, still I guess a little bit of hacks in my favor. So he brings his Cobalion. I decide to save my Zapdos, because why not? And I might need him as fodder for later. So I go on my Slowbro to take whatever, resist the Iron Head, resist the close combat, and Stone Edge isn't going to be doing that much because it's non-stab. And I'm fully defensive, so here he goes to Swords Dance as I think, go for a Slack Off just to get all that HP back because I am just under half at this point and I'd feel a lot more comfortable with full health. He does reveal Swords Dance, which I'm like, oh crap, that might be a big deal, except I do have Thunder Wave on the set, which he, I guess, was hoping I didn't, even though I did show it, earlier in the game, except it was taunted, so maybe he just didn't notice what I went for. But I do get that Cobalion paralyzed, so really what he should have done there is just gone for a Stone Edge after +2 with Swords Dance, just hope for a crit, because once a paralyzed Cobalion just can't do anything to my team. So I go for Scald the following turn. It does a decent chunk, and then luckily for me, I guess I do get that full paralysis on that Cobalion. Not a big deal really, but I guess it helped a little. So I get another hit off with Scald and do survive a +4 Stone Edge, which is pretty nice. Go Slowbro. And because of that full paralysis earlier, I'm actually able to win this engagement and finish him off next turn with a Scald. So that's great. So now at this point he has one guy left, and that's his what is his last Pokemon here? Victini, right. He has a Victini left, and I have no reason to keep this Slowbro around, so I just let him die to a Bolt Strike, and I figured might as well give my opponent a little bit of satisfaction in destroying that Slowbro, because that Slowbro was definitely annoying to him, I would guess, because he just wouldn't die, and definitely the MVP of this game, I'd think. But so I go for Fake Out on the Victini. I don't know if he's scuffed, so if he is, I just go into my Zapdos as fodder. Because I don't see Life Orb, I figure he is scuffed because this doesn't look like banded damage, but who knows, I could be wrong. So now I have a choice. I can either go on my Houndoom and Sucker Punch or my Amber Palm and Fake Out. I decide to, showcase my Houndoom a little bit and go for that Sucker Punch to win the game. So, yeah, that's the game. It turns out to be a 2-0 with my Amber Palm and Houndoom left in my pockets at the end. So, it turned out to be a pretty good game. I think he made some good predictions, and I don't know, I made some good predictions here and there too, so pretty good overall game. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I will hopefully be posting some more videos later on. I'm actually now in my second semester of my senior year in high school, And people said that it would be, super stressless and be all just all fun, but I'm actually kind of stressed right now, so whatever. Hopefully I will be able to get a video up soon, though. But regardless, I guess that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and that'll be it. Bye-bye.